Good morning, children. Let me continue the lesson. Periodic classification of elements. I said already, totally 180 elements or 108 elements are there. They are finding more elements in the future. So it's the duty of scientists to arrange. First who came forward? Dobirnet triads. I said 3 elements are arranged together. First element and last element. They total atomic masses. Average of the total of the atomic mass is equal to the second element. We have seen the example lithium, sodium and potassium. There are many defects in that, so it is rejected. Then who came forward? Newland's octaves. He has arranged 56 elements. It's a musical concept and there are also some defects. It's avoided. Then Mendeleev, he arranged the elements according to the atomic masses. He makes the groups and periods. According to Mendeleev periodic table, 8 groups and 7 periods are there. Then they are arranged according to the atomic masses. Then too it is not satisfied. Then finally, who came to help them? Henry Moseley. Henry Moseley, he has made the modern periodic table at present what we are using. It is based on atomic number. There is horizontal rows and groups. Then horizontal rows are known as periods and the vertical columns are known as groups. 7 periods and 18 groups. So even they changed also, it should be thorough. Periods 7, groups 18. Clear? Now let me rub the board and go for the other thing, that is advantages of modern periodic table and how to arrange the elements. Then tabular column 12.5 is very important, I said. That is group 1, alkali metals. Group 2, I already said, classification of elements into the blocks. So how to arrange them in the blocks. Clear? So let me rub everything. We are going to the new thing. New concept. Clear? Then let me recall the atomic structure. Atomic structure in center, what is there? Nucleus. Atom. Children, do you remember the structure of atom? In center, what is the nucleus? Around the nucleus, orbits. In center, this is the structure of atom. In center, nucleus is present. Around the nucleus is an empty place. Around the nucleus, orbits are present. The orbits, otherwise known as energy levels. What are the particles present? What are the atomic particles? What are the atomic particles? Proton, positively charged. Electron, negatively charged. Proton and electron always they are equal in number. So because they are equal in number, they are in the stable condition. Atoms are always stable. They never collapse with each other. This is because of atomic protons and the electron. For example, if you are going for oxygen, 8 proton, 8 electron, neutron, it is chargeless particle. This is in nucleus. Here in the case of oxygen, both are same. Then either proton or electron is known as atomic number. Then mass number is proton plus neutron. Mass number differs because number of neutron may be vary. It doesn't mean that same from proton and electron. This is what I say, nucleus. Around the nucleus we can see the proton, neutron. Because proton and neutron, proton is present in this is positively charged. Nucleus also what? Positively charged only. Around the thing, they are known as orbits or energy levels. Because electrons revolves around this, they are known as what? Energy levels. There is electrons are arranged. Protons are inside the nucleus. Electrons are arranged here. according to the formula 2n squared. What's the formula here? 2n squared. The arrangement of electron followed certain particular formula 2n squared. 2 is the constant number, n is the number of orbit, number squared. For example, in atom, this shell, that is orbits, k, l, m, n. How many orbits there? 4 orbits. So, as per the formula 2n squared, 2 is the constant number. N is the number of orbit. First orbit is what? K. So number of orbit is 1. Children, do you understand what I said? 2 into 1 into 1, 2. We'll go for second orbit. Constant number is 2. Number of orbit is 2. Orbit squared. So 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. Third one, 2 into 3 into 3, 18. 2 into 4 into 4, 32. Every orbit, these are the orbit, no? Every orbit has got a suborbit. We are coming to that point only. K has got S. And L, we can see S and P. And M, S, P, D. And N, S, P, D, F. These are the blocks. We are coming to the main part. We are coming to the blocks only. That is orbits of suborbit. That is K, it has only one suborbit S. L, it has two suborbit SP. M, SPD and N, SPDF. So, the electrons are arranged according to that formula. The first orbit only 2, second orbit 8, last orbit 18 like that. That is 2, 8, 10, remaining 18 they say. This arrangement is known as electronic configuration. So, we can find out how many electrons, how many protons in that. Clear, children? Now, we have to go for Mendeleev periodic table. What is the subshell? SPDF. S is the block element. Here, 1 and group, S we can see, 1 and second group elements are present in that. S is what I say. What are the groups of the elements? Modern periodic table present in this? Group 1 and group 2. Totally how many groups there? 18 groups. The 18 groups, 1 and 2 is arranged in first group. They are known as alkali metals. And SP in that, they are known as P block element, that is P alone. Okay, we are going for the P. P element, they are group of 13 and 18. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 groups are arranged in that. They are known as here the biggest one, even metals, non-metals, everything is arranged in this. And the D block elements, here we can see 3 to 12. That is 1 and 2, alkali. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. This is alkaline metals. Sorry, this is transition elements. Okay, 13 and 18 we can see all the elements. It's the biggest thing. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And last one, F block elements. Here only 14 elements. This is groups. But here 14 elements, they are separated and they are arranged here. Only 14 elements are present in that. They are known as inner transition animals. That is, the transition animals inner, we have inner transition elements. Clear? Here we can see metals, non-metals and metalloids. Totally how many groups? 18 groups. 18 groups are arranged in the suborbit S, P, D, F. So S I say group 1 and 2, alkali and alkaline metals. This is biggest thing, that is metal, non-metal, everything is present in that. 3 to 12 transition metal. And the last group, that is F, in this only we can see 14 elements only, not the groups, only remaining elements or 14 elements which are not arranged properly, they come under this and they are known as inner transition elements. So, what are the advantages of modern periodic table? Any 2 advantages, 3 advantages enough to learn. That is, it is based on fundamental property, that is atomic number. It correlates the position of the element with its correct configuration. So first element means that electron elements are arranged properly. The completion of each period is more logical, more correct. It is easy to remember and reproduce. That is modern periodic table, easy to remember in mind and we can reproduce again. Reproduce means what? Again we can produce. Each group is an independent group. And one position of isotopes of an element is justified. Isotopes, same atomic number, different mass number. The previous thing, that is Mendeleev periodic table, there is no place for the isotope and mostly has created the place for the isotope. The position of the 8th group is also justified. The table completely separates metal from non-metals. The position of certain elements which are earlier that has changed in the Mendeleev periodic table are now justified. Nobody can question like that, it is justified. Okay? Then position of hydrogen in the periodic table. Hydrogen is the lightest element. It behaves like alkali metal as well as halogen. Okay, now in the periodic table, position of the rare gases. Rare gases, what are the rare gases? They are inactive. They could not react with other gases. Those gases are known as rare gases. For example, what are the rare gases? Argon, neon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are the rare gases. They are present in the little amount only. They are inactive. They are not easily reacting with other elements. So they are known as what? Rare gases. Clear? So the rare gases are arranged in particular group. Is otherwise known as zero gases, inert gases. They are arranged in a particular group. They are arranged in monoatomic gases. Okay. Now, further, we have seen 108 elements, more than 108 elements. Later on, we found other elements, they are in the proper. Further, we divide them into metals, non-metals and metalloids. So, what are the things we have seen? Further, we can divide them into metals, non-metals. You would have studied in the lower classes, children. Just recall everything. Metalloids. So, how we can classify them? Metals, they have the special characteristics. So, the elements which have the characteristics are arranged under metal. Which do not have those characters are arranged non-metals. And metalloids, they are intermediate between the metals and non-metals. So, generally we will see all the metals, generally they are hard, shiny, malleable, fusible and ductile. Hard, shining, malleable, that is easily you can make into sheet. Fusible, join with others, and ductile can be broken down into wires. They are good conductor of heat and electricity. Almost all the metals are solid only except mercury. Mercury is the exceptional case of metal that is in liquid which is used in our thermometers. Non-metals, they are quite opposite to the metals. That is, it's the element that does not have the character like, what are the things we have seen? Hardness, shining, malleable, shootable and ductile. Non-metal is the element that does not have the properties of metal. All non-metals are arranged in P block. That is, what are the non-metals And metalloids, they have the characteristics of both the metals and non-metals. That is, example, boron and arsenic. Name any two metals means you have to write boron and arsenic. Clear? Boron and arsenic. Alloys. Now we have to go for a new something. So far we divide them into metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now alloys. Alloys is nothing else, fusion of metals. Alloys are, your page number 144, it's given the markdown from down 4th line. Alloys are the mixtures of two or more metals and are formed by mixing molten metals thoroughly. That is, metals are in the condition of molten. Molten means what? Urigi poyirukkarada. We are mixing together. So, they are known as what? Alloys. It is generally found that alloying produces a metallic substance and has more useful properties. For example, alloy of brass. Brass, brass means what? We used to say brass, that is, we are saying what? In Tamil, brass vessels, pittalain solvanga. So, this is the combination of two metals, copper and zinc. Alloy is what I say. This is alloy. What's an example of alloy? Brass. So, what are the metals fused in that? Copper and zinc. So, what are the advantages of the alloys? Wow, it is better than metals and non-metal. They did not get corroded or get corroded to very less extent. Even you are using long time also, it will not be corroded. Corroded means what? That become rusted. For example, steel, non-stainless steel and all, if you are keeping in the water, iron, whatever it may be, it will be rusted. But alloys, it is not rusted easily. They are harder, stronger than pure metals. Because it's a fusion of many metal, they are very stronger. For example, we can see an alloy, gold. Gold is mixed with copper and is harder than the pure gold. That is KDM 916 hallmark, like that they will say no. So, apart from that, that is another 24 karat, fully made up of gold, not even a single drop of copper added with it. That is not long standing for us. That is 22 karat of gold, they said. That is 22% gold and 2% copper. Mixing together, they will serve for a long time. Even whenever you want, you can have and sleep, play, whatever it may be. But KDM and all, we should be very careful. They have less conductance than pure metals. That is, conducting capacity of the pure metals, when compared with that, it is less. For example, copper is a good conductor of heat and electricity, whereas bronze are not good conductors. Brass and bronze are alloys. Some alloys have lower melting point than pure metals. When metal is alloyed with mercury, it is called amalgam. So, important point, what are the special characteristics of alloys? They are not corroded or get corroded in a very less extent. Main thing, alloys are not corroded. They are harder and stronger than pure metal. They have less conductance than pure metal. They have low melting point than pure metal. Metals alloyed with mercury, it is called amalgam. What is amalgam? That is metal alloyed with mercury. Any other metal with mercury, it is fused together, that is known as what? Amalgam. Clear? Any doubt in this lesson? Almost we have completed. So, we have seen classification of elements. Classification of elements, that is, how many elements are there? 108 elements. In the future, more elements can be found. So, they have lived the places. Who has come forward? First, what are the concept of table? Modern periodic table. First, Dobirner. He has arranged the elements into three. So, it's known as Dobirner triads. It becomes defective. Then Newlands. He has arranged the elements into 8, like a musical note. First element and the last element resemble same. So, that is rejected because in between the element, they don't have the properties of first and last element. Then Hooking, Mendeleev periodic table. He has got the periods, groups and divided the subgroups. And these are the early concepts. Then this is more based. Mendeleev periodic table is rectified by Moseley. Here what all given there? It is a proper periodic table. Our position of hydrogen is confirmed. Position of rare gases is confirmed. So we can divide them further. We can divide them into, that is, structure of atomizer. Every orbit has got the suborbit sp,df. The S we can arrange 1 and 2 alkali and alkali metals. P, metals, non-metals and metalloids. And D, transition. And last one is what? F, inner transition element. They are arranged. Okay, lesson I clearly explained, children. Any doubts we can clarify afterwards. Thank you.